Alrighty guys, so in this video, let's take a look at for this week. Nvidia, AMD, ARM, Broadcom's SK Hynix had its debut. It's already red. What does it mean? Micron, the favorite of many, Sandisk, TSM, Intel, Seagate, all the good stuff. How should we be approaching these stocks going in this week? How are things looking like? Let's talk about all of that once I let you know. None of this any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So Nvidia over here, as I have done a video for you 3 days ago, I told you these two stocks just became a buy. That was 3 days ago, right? And one was Nvidia, which was, I've been explaining you the concept, how 199 and 50 cents above, we will start to gain strength to the upside, and we have been doing just that. And that's where, as I have said previously also guys, that's where we make the money, because that's where when the price action is just turning around, you build a position heavy because your stop loss could be tight, right? And then you're just mostly holding at this point. The point is that though, even from here on, Nvidia price action will continue to just remain bullish as we even stay above 204. Any pullback until 204 on Nvidia is technically just a bullish strength to the upside on Nvidia's price action right now. We are almost there at the next zone of 213, 214, and after that it will open up the doors to the highest test again, that is at 236. All looking good so far. I'm not too worried on Nvidia going into this week. As we hold 204, all of our bias, all the trading decisions needs to be on the bullish side. Along the ways, pullback can come, but those will be just the pullbacks. If you wanna be trading with appropriate price action and the understanding, you can use my tools. If you need access to my tools, details you will find in the description of this video. That helps you to trade in the real time, make decisions in the real time. All these moves that I tell you are just because my tools help me in identifying all these moves. So if you want those tools, you can check out the details in the description of this video. So yeah, Nvidia is looking just all good, my friends. Okay, we are going good for this week. Okay, AMD is going into that liquidity zone again, the third, fourth time, however you want to call it. Now that's where the important part is, that the more and more we will get closer in that zone and start to hold that zone, we're gonna eventually break it out. Now, is it broken? No, not already, but we are on the strengthful side here. Okay, bullish strengthful side. There are a couple of zones to watch. Definitely overall we are fine even until 505. 528 is still an important zone. You can't ignore that. We do have an update on that zone. Well, still keep it 528 actually. That came from the intraday zone. So that's still an important zone, but it is looking like on the strengthful side. It is all good actually for now, to continue to push up. Now, if we can hold this zone 546 area, and let's get back to the daily interval actually. That's your near-term trailing zone for this strength to continue for this week. And let's change this to zone. And this is your zone as if we continue to stay this week above 546, we are technically on the bullish strength side, and regardless of whatever we are either even approaching liquidity grab, your bias has to be bullish above 546. If we lose 546, unfortunately, we may a little bit for a day or so weaken up again, and losing the 528 area will then again put us in a distribution weakness phase on AMD. Liquidity grab here worked out two times already. Now, the reason this is still a liquidity grab is for the reason you still have to be cautious for this one. Okay, yes, we are looking strengthful, but you still have to be cautious here. So accordingly, this defines a risk management caution. Okay, so anyways, looking good so far, strong in the bullish distribution phase, and as if it continue to close and stay strong up here, it will most likely then break through, right? All right, let's take a look at now ARM. So ARM rebounded, which as we were expecting above 306, a rebound is possible, but then that major resistance zone up here is still rejecting it, right? 338 area. because it's part of it just a rebound, and unfortunately that still remains the case. We are just in the rebound phase, but at the same time, what did I tell you last time? I said that this rebound still has a room with a pullback to do another rebound, which is trying to do. And this is where I told you that we have moves in the market. We are either in a run up phase, we are either in the run down phase, we are in the distribution phase, or we are in the consolidation phase. And then there's a transition phase as well. Transition phase is that when we are just transitioning between these type of zones, okay? And that's what it is right now. We are in the transition zone between yellow and red, okay? In the transition zone, you are managing the position from one side to the other. So if you were in the short, in the transition zone, you are covering more of your short. You are sizing down your short. If we were going from bullish to then distribution phase, in the transition then, in the zone between, you are then, sizing down your long position. So, okay, this is how you will have to risk manage. And which also defines where the confidence of the direction is. In transition phase, you can a little bit be, slowly and slowly tinkering with your position, but also just not stepping on the pedal, okay? You can a little bit, just take your feet off the gas and let the price action play out. And that's when the transition phase, you will see price usually stagnate for a while because everyone is doing so, most of them, okay? And then everyone is waiting, right? And institutions are waiting. And so that's where liquidity may dry up, but that also as the breakout moves, like market makers will have to move the price because they have to fill the orders on either direction, okay? And then we wait for the whales to come in. So at this point, it still has a room to strength, but that will be above this red zone right now. So we are in the transition phase. Red zone above 334 and above is we can then start to push up. That, as I said in the previous video as well, will add the longevity to the upside again. That can again push us to the highest test. If we lose the yellow zone, unfortunately rebound is over and we will then make our room to the next zone below. Now, before going to the stocks down in the list, if you are also interested in members only video, I have already done for this, well, for today, for tomorrow already, stock market levels to watch. Feel free to join my members only membership. A lot of stocks there, a lot of the plays where I'm putting my money and how those plays are working out. Earnings season is also upon us, so that will also define quite many opportunities and quite many risk management. Okay, so many more stocks. If you are interested, guys, you can check out on my members only videos and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get back over here. Let's talk about Broadcom. So Broadcom was another one of those that I told you with Nvidia is just a buy right away, right? And any pullback, I mentioned that it's just a buy. Pullback we got bought up, we remain just in the bullish structure. We are just in the bullish structure. Even now also, pullbacks until 386 are just a buy. Point is that, I mean, we don't want to lose 386, accordingly we'll have to risk manage, but my point is that until 386, 387, everything on Broadcom will remain bullish. Only below that, I would be saying 387 below is only where the break of the structure is. And that's where only will, okay, be a little bit cautious, even though I don't think we're gonna lose 362. So if you have a little bit of a longer horizon, you can, I mean, technically position should have been built, but that can still be used as an opportunity to build through the position, in my opinion, but you will then have to wait longer for a confirmation to come back again, okay, if we lose 386. Otherwise, we are fine until their structure is bullish. Even this is not a multi-day weakness. This is just part of a little bit of a day of a pullback, already getting bought up. From where? Exactly the significant level marked by my tools for you guys. You have to get these tools, otherwise you're just trading blindly. You just don't know where to buy or to sell. You are just putting the trigger and just hoping for something to happen, and most likely you're losing money that way. SK Hynix. So SK Hynix had its debut on Friday. Poor thing closed red. Now, while I'm talking about it, let me show you on Kospi side on the things, okay? So Kospi still is red, bounces are selling off, and it's still in the negative territory, guys. Cosby, okay, regardless of Micron and Sandisk, they're looking strong. We'll get to those. SK Hynix on South Korean market last trading day was also weak. Rebounds got sold off and will remain weak below 2.47 area. So SK Hynix is not looking good right now, even on the Korean market. They unfortunately debuted on, well, it's not a good thing that, oh, it's a debut, oh, gotta pick it up. No, they're just raising money. Okay, that's the whole thing. They're taking money from you. I mean, people were buying IPOs. So while the overall trend is to the downside, so that's not a good sign. If it would have been on the upside, yes, then US SK Hynix would have looked good. Korean SK Hynix is not looking good. It's on the downside, so pressure will linger because it's an ADR, which is still based off of this, Korean Kospi, Korean SK Hynix. Samsung also has remained in the negative structure below 313, and bounces are still being sold off, so nothing to do there much. Okay, I may do another video later today when Kospi opens in the evening here. But so far things are not looking good there, right? And SK Hynix has closed red. If you're purely just looking at from the US price action basis, you might want to hold off on this thing. It's not a buy here while the Korean SK Hynix is looking weak. Yes, in the post market we are seeing a bit of a comeback, but I would not put too many of my chips based off of just what the post market is doing, because it can still be easily manipulated and moved around. Because if I look at the SK Hynix on the hourly interval, there it's still weak. So you still have to be careful and nimble with this thing. So give it some time, few days before price action evolves here. Definitely money flow is different in these two markets, but some correlation will be there. Okay, so Micron. So Micron is also in that very transition phase like ARM is, guys. Okay, and this very day I told you this is just a rebound. It's a good rebound, but if it can stabilize in the yellow zone for a couple of days, this rebound is strengthful enough to push it higher. Now, are we seeing signs of that? I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told you on Friday morning, and that was 950 area, right? This bottom part of the yellow zone. We hold above it. We still have a room to rebound on this thing. Okay, if we lose 950, guys, unfortunately, it's gone. So that's your zone to watch for the price action on this thing. Longevity strength is not there, but there's a zone that has built up. That is what we have to watch. That is 1016 to 1030. And let's get back to the daily interval. Pretty much this is your transitioning. Between this is your transition zone, like I explained to you on ARM. Okay, this is your transition zone here. Below this, weakness will come back in again. In between transition zone and above this, we can then push for the fences again to the upside highs. Okay, at this point, I don't want to get rid of this zone. This is still a strong zone that may keep it still lingering around, but we can negate that for now, provided we are in this transition zone. So we can a little bit negate its value there. It has served its purpose for the breakdown, but for the break to the upside, we do have a zone, next zone to focus. Okay, so I'm gonna, at least for now, let's get rid of that, and we'll focus on the closer one here. Okay, but those significant levels still have importance, guys. Price action will react there, so you can't just negate them and it doesn't matter. No, it will matter. That will define your areas of price reaction, and that will give us indication, okay, is the price still strong there or is weakening? That tells us things. Sandisk is stronger than, I would say, Micron, Samsung, SK Hynix for sure. Let's get to the hourly interval, and it has also closed strong on the high end of the rebound, which is what you want to see for a continuation of a breakout. And it's right there. It's right there. This rebound, as I told you, it's so strong. Even a pullback will be bought up on this thing. Another day of a rebound, and that happened. Now it's right at the top line of that breakout, and it is looking good. If it breaks out, great. It's going to test most likely the highest technically significant level by significant level. The next one would be 2170 area. If we lose the bottom end of it, that is 1860 area, then you can expect, okay, unfortunately rebound is getting over and we may a little bit linger around, maybe come down. But above 1860, all good, my friends. Okay, so Sandisk is definitely strong, not fully out of the woods, but it is looking strong enough. It get pushed through, but nothing is guaranteed. We have to manage with the risk. Where the probability is, we got that, but we do the other side, the risk management, right? So TSM, a little bit still lagging here. Distribution phase, sideways action. Earnings are soon as well, so gotta keep that in mind. When is Sandisk earnings? It's I think quite a ways. Yeah, it's quite a ways. TSM earnings are actually Thursday, so we have another earnings, actually one of the tech stocks there. So TSM is interesting. It's unrelated though. The other stock that has its earnings with TSM is unrelated. So all right, anyways guys, I'll talk closely to the earnings day, how to approach the price action. So far it's a little bit in the weakness below 448. And this is pretty much the part of a distribution phase. This is above 448 distribution strength, below 448 distribution weakness. Overall though, we are fine until 418. Below that, definitely it's like right? Okay. Intel remains unfortunately still in the weakness, negative structure, nothing has changed. 116 below, you cannot look to the upside. Seagate is another one in the transition phase with a strong rebound, just like Sandisk, closing on the top, almost the top end of the strength here. So how do we approach this thing? Well, you watch this 881. We stay above 881. Technically, we are still in the transition phase, but on the rebound edge of the possible strength, because we are in the rebound strength right now. 880 area above. Okay, if we lose it, unfortunately rebound is over. We mostly gonna come down to $800 again, and as if we continue to, then yeah, stay above that, all fine. If we can break out above now 939, that will put Seagate for the test of the highs again. So that's that. Okay, accordingly manage your position. All right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. Definitely for S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, and many other stocks and many other trades, plans for this week and how we are approaching the market this week, the levels to watch, and all of that you will find on my members only videos here. Check it out. It's already done. You can find it on here as well on my Patreon. On my Patreon, you can also get access to my trading tools if you want to trade with some clarity. Don't trade blindly, guys. Okay, you can make money in the market if you just know where the price action you have to watch, okay, and accordingly build your understanding. What is the price action telling us, where the probability of higher successful trade directions are, and combine that together with these members only videos. It's a full package. You have an extra forward looking outlook, and then combine that together with my trading tools. You're good to go. You can even just use trading tools. Everything in real time is already inbuilt, but with members only videos, it also helps to reinforce some messages and also to help you really understand how to use tools in a more amplified way. Okay, it builds your understanding. So it's a full package that once you start learning will stay with you for your life. You know, it's not that it's just like until you are a member, then only you will learn. No, you will build these learnings and you will take it with yourself, you know, moving forward. So all right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.